Okay, this is Don Durrett, Gold Stock Data, and we're continuing on with our overview of the company profile page. So we had just finished general details. So here's the profile page, and I'm going to finish this up. Hit the start button here. So we just finished general details and we're working our way down, and should be able to finish this in 10 minutes without any problem. So here's the resource data. So we have total and plausible. So here's the total. We have proven and probable. These are the reserves. And the 3.50, these are not the exact numbers that you're going to find on their website. These are numbers, these are kind of my opinion of what I think their proven and probable are. And the measured and indicated include proven and probable. So the total R&R is your measured and indicated plus your inferred. So 15 plus 10 is 25. So reserve and resources is the total resources. And again, there's several reasons why I don't use the exact numbers on various company websites. These are the numbers that I think are, in my opinion, are kind of what they're going to mine. Sometimes there's a lot of different reasons why I will change these from what they say. So I would say 80% of the time I might accept the numbers. I might round them a little bit. You can see these are rounded 15, 10, 3.5. So again, I'm just trying to get a ballpark number. I'm just trying to get a good understanding of the company, and you can consider a lot of these things as kind of starting points. So the proven and probable, this is the plausible. So the plausible is it's 100% times the recovery rate. So we have 3.5 and the recovery rate is 75%. So this is 3.5 times 100% times 75. The measured and indicated is times 80% times the recovery rate. So it goes down to 9.5. So if you add all these up, the plausible is 13 million ounces. That's how many they're supposed to mine. And in theory, that's what I should be using for my future reserves. But a lot of times I'll use somewhere similar to that. In this instance, I'm not sure what I'm using. Again, I use my opinion, what I think they're going to mine. But this is kind of a good ballpark number. Here's the current production, current cash cost. The cash costs are usually fairly close to what the company says they're going to, what they currently are. The extra, this is extra operating costs, is the reason why I don't use AISC, all-in sustaining capital, what people consider all-in costs, is because that does not include several different costs. And one of those big costs is like development of a non-operating mine. A lot of times that won't be included. There's area of the cost. So I pad them. So their AIC is probably around 1,000 for gold. And I pad it $200 to get a break even. And over here we have $14 for their all in. And that's kind of a ballpark. I mean, I try to get as close as I can to break even. Pan American's probably maybe 15, maybe 16. I have them 16 in the future. So I try to. This is the grade again ballpark. I mean it's rounded, but I try to get the grade as close as I can. Recovery rates. This is my future proven and probable. So I'm using 7 million ounces over here in silver. I'm using 45 million. They're currently at 25 million. So I think they're going to grow quite a bit in the next 3 to 5 years. So we have annual production. Then we have our future costs. So I have their costs staying relatively even in gold, and then in silver I have them jumping $2. Again, my opinion. What do I think their break-evens are going to be in the future? So again, a lot of these numbers are my opinions, and they're not necessarily. I just feel that that's better. If I just take the numbers right off of the web pages, I just don't think they really reflect the actuality. We can't use AIC. In my opinion, is worthless. So I have to pad them to get an understanding of what their true cash flow is. So there's your resources. That's a really important one. Then we have properties. Properties. So we have a column headings. We have the stage, production or development. I think those are the only two. Oh, exploration is the other. So there's three stages. We have the location, which is the country. Sometimes we'll have the territory or the state. Then we have the name, owned, the percentage owned. Sometimes these numbers, you might have to double check them. They change a lot. Sometimes we're not 100% sure. They might default to 100%. They might not own 100%. It might be different. We have the size in hectares. I prefer to use acres, but the site uses hectares just because I'm used to acres. But a lot of people are in Canada and global, and they're used to hectares. The types, we have underground, we have unknown, we have open pits, and then we have the type. We only have three types. AU is gold, AG is silver, and CU is copper. Some of them have notes. We have the last analysis and the current data. So sometimes it changes. A lot of times it's the same. Now we come down to profitability. The profitability screen I don't use that much. The one that I think is valuable is the market cap versus the ounces. These two numbers I think are valuable. So over here on silver, we have silver equivalent at $2.42, and we had this is plausible ounces again. I kind of like to use current values to kind of see what the current valuation is. These are plausible ounces though, which is kind of like future ounces. So $1.47. It's pretty cheap, but now it's popped up. So this is the silver screen. So even though it says future cap silver equivalent, it's converting the gold, and this over here is just the silver. So it's better to use the silver here and then use the gold here. This is pretty high for future. Well, I mean, what it is because Pan American has really jumped in value here in the last year. This was about a year ago, so 300. But this is the gold side. They're more of a silver producer than they are gold. What else we can show here on? So we have percentage gold, percentage silver. This is the production because it's using both sides. Total equivalent ounces. So we have. Oh, I'm sorry. This is proven and probable. This is measured and indicated. So that's the reason for the differences. That's the reason why this is so high, because this is future reserves, and this is more. I think this is more reflective of what they're actually going to produce. The 242 and the 274, so they're not super highly valued. Although you want to see it down to ideally $50 is super cheap, and then anything under $1 is cheap. Once you get over, $2.50, it starts to get a little pricey. But as a silver company, $2 is not super pricey. I mean, Pan American is still I think probably a three-bagger. Profitability here. So I wanted to tell you guys how the profitability is calculated. So we have, you can look, oh, wow. Oh, there's a little, it doesn't have, I'm trying to read this. It gives a little description, but not the actual calculation. So the actual calculation for profitability is the current spot price. So in this profitability section, it doesn't use future prices, it uses current prices. So it's a little conservative. Current spot price minus the cost, the current cost, times plausible ounces minus the tax rate. So it's using plausible ounces, current cost, current ounces. That's how it's calculating these profitability. Whereas when we go down to the future, I use future costs. So this section here is using current cost, current gold prices, current silver prices. So we have total maximum profit. That's if they basically mine all of their current plausible ounces at the current cost, at the current gold prices. You can see where it's really jumped here in the last year. The profitability potential has really jumped. Then we have our max profit by market cap, and then we have our max profit per share. And the ones that I like are these two right here. This market cap divided by gold equivalent ounces. I think I told you these two I think are valuable. This one right here. And if you, the one that's good, I think, is current market cap divided by, say, plausible ounces. So we have, this is fully diluted market. Well, that is current market cap. Current market cap divided by plausible ounces. And so this is proven and probable. This is measured and indicated, and then this is R&R. R&R is the combination of M&I and inferred. So indicated, this measured and indicated includes proven and probable. So this is basically, a good indication of. So measured and indicated is ounces in the ground that have been analyzed. They're not estimates per se. These are third-party analysis. Proven and probable means that it has a feasibility study and it's economic. And then R&R is just a combination of all the ounces. So this plausible for R&R. So right here we have $1.85 for silver equivalent. So if they measure or mine all of their ounces, these numbers are a little bit. I think these numbers are actually a little bit more reflective that you should use. Well, I'm over my 10-minute mark, but I got to do this final section down here in future valuation. It's going to go over, but we got to do it. So here's current and future. So here we have R&R valuation. So this is your plausible ounces times your current market cap. That's where that comes in. And then we have our market cap. So these are actually fairly, almost the same. Then we have our annual gold production, our annual silver production. This is current. And now we have future. So future market cap, and this is basically a calculated future market cap. This is the one that I adjust if I think it's a little low. And I think I adjusted this one up like 25% because I just thought it was too low. Then we have our future market cap growth rate, which is almost 300%, almost a three-bagger, when we compare the current market cap up here to the future market cap. That's what our growth rate. This is a big number that I use. The other number that I think is really important is your future. Here's your future. Your future gold prices, cash flow, is 2.7 billion. So if you do that by 10, you get out to 27 billion, and I only have 17 billion. So in some respects, I'm being conservative because I think that they could easily have a 10x. If silver goes to the moon, they probably are going to have a 10x valuation. So that could be conservative. Let's see what else we have in here. These are future values. So we have our current fully diluted market cap divided by future gold reserves, future production. That's what gives us this. So these numbers, but and then here we have, this is our future gold. So these numbers are really important here. This is what I'm using, 7 million ounces future reserves that I think they're going to mine, and then 750 million ounces of silver. So these two numbers are really important. So I use this section here. I ignore this bottom section. This bottom section I don't think has a lot of value. This one, annual production, then everything up in here, really valuable stuff. And then all your cash flow numbers I think are really important. Here I have a cash flow. So here we have our current cash flow. This is a calculated cash flow. You can search in help. It'll show you how that's calculated. This is the current multiple, 24. And then we have our current prices. This is future cash flow at current prices. So if the prices didn't go up, but their reserves and their production went up, this is all they'd have. If prices did nothing. You can see the reason why it goes down is because the costs go up. It's an important thing to know. Why is this lower than this? The reason why is because costs go up, but the prices didn't go up. So here's your multiple at current prices, and then we have the growth in current prices. And that's the reason why is it went down 35% because costs went up. If the prices don't go up, then you're going to have a problem. So it's important to understand these numbers here, future prices. So now this is where we're using future prices, and it really jumps. And then you have your multiple, and it jumps way down here to 1.75 versus 24. You see that? And then here's your growth with future prices, 1,200%. So these numbers are really important. So now you understand this section here, the future cash flow, and this. I know I spoke fast, but you probably want to review it maybe again. Use your help file to understand it. And so that's the company profile page. I hope that was useful for you.